Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start again with Rapture Kitty because I can corral him. He's got sleepy eyes. He's been running around all day. I've been over at my son's. I had to take him a new cable for his computer. The new video card had different ports and I had to take him a new cable. So we're back up and running, and that's okay. So here, you can go look out the window. Let's see, I keep forgetting to plug my microphone in. I really don't need this unless I'm outside, but it stays on this stand, so I don't take it with me when I go out. I like to be outside more. I'm in my tent again, but the wind is blowing. It's not much, but it doesn't take much to get these microphones all upset. So, this is the week of Thanksgiving. A lot of preparations going on, going to the store to buy all the ingredients to make everything that you're going to make. I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen, so we have a simple prepared meal that we're going to eat, so I don't have to worry about it. And no leftovers, because there's going to be enough leftovers from other family and friends, so I don't have to have that. So this is the time, this is when you really got to focus on two important things. And Jesus is the best one to seek on that, and that's love and comfort. Because that's what's needed this time of year. Growing up, we had family gatherings. As a kid, I can remember going with my parents over to their friend's house for dinner. We'd play with their kids. And they'd sit around and play cards all day or watch a ball game. Typically it was play cards. Someone's making noise. They loved playing poker and different things like that. And they'd sit around and they'd eat and drink and things like that. And then when the day of the meal, if we go the day before and stay the day of the meal, everybody would eat early, and then they go back to doing the same thing. So, fun gatherings, lots of people around having a good time, kids playing, running around. And I miss those family gatherings. I do. I will be with my son tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. When you see this, it will be the day before Thanksgiving. So, I will be with my son on Thanksgiving. We'll have a simple meal. And I'll sit around with him and we'll play games. We got computers involved now, but back then we didn't have computers. So let's see, what do I have here? Typically we would go out to somebody's house for Thanksgiving and then come back to home for Christmas. And then we'd invite people in for Christmas. So we'd spend one out and one. So we only had to really cook one meal. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And when you invite people over, they don't have to cook. And then you send them home with all the leftovers. Later on, we would get the big screen out and watch a ball game. The bowl games would be on the holidays, so you could watch those. And we tried to duplicate that as a family growing up with my kids. But now, families scattered. Can't do that anymore. So, I'll do it with my son. But I at least have someone to be with. This time of year, there are people out there that have no one. They've either been isolated from their family that's out there but has nothing to do with them, or in cases similar to mine, but not exactly, I have no one older than me in my family. I'm the oldest one left. None of my brothers and sisters and parents are alive anymore. I have nieces and nephews, and that's it. None of my parents' family that we used to hang out with, they're not alive anymore. So I'm already down to a minimum. So we want to gather again, even if it's just with one person. With my mom, they would put together, when she was in her assisted living place, they would put together a dinner. And I would go there for I'd do it for both holidays. I'd spend time with my family, and then I'd go spend time with her. Or I'd do it the night before. Sometimes they organize these in such a way that you can have a meal with your parent in assisted living, and then go home and have it the next day. You do what you can to help. But since there are times where people just can't be with anybody, find them. Go to where they might be. Go to a nursing home and volunteer, or an assisted living and volunteer. Go to the hospital and volunteer. People in the hospital are going to spend the holiday in the hospital for whatever their medical reason is. And the people that work there are going to work the holiday. Many stores open up on holidays now. They no longer respect family. So they make the people work on holidays. I can see being open Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day, no. A lot of places do close, but unfortunately, the world doesn't think like we do. Now, you want to hang out with all kinds of people. Jesus did. He hung out with people that were not of his class, not of his temperament. They would get on him. You're eating with tax collectors. This is the scum of the earth. It's not a whole lot better today, but they were really crooked back then. They made their living out of what they stole by overcharging people's taxes. Now the government just outright steals it. It doesn't want competition, so you can't do this. Scam call coming in. I think we can delete that. But you want to make people comfortable. So let's get into some scriptures for this to kind of see how Jesus did with this. And he came to Nazareth where he'd been brought up. And as he entered, as his custom was, he went into the synagogue. Oh, my hiccups again. I don't like that. And I don't have my drink handy. Go away, hiccups. Stop it. When I'm talking too much, I don't swallow enough. My throat gets dry and I get hiccups. So Jesus is going to Nazareth where he'd been brought up. As his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and he stood up to read. Guest people can come in and read in synagogues. And they delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. They gave him the book. He didn't ask for it. But he knows what he wants. And he opened the book and found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to captives and recovering sight to the blind, to set at liberty those that are bruised or captive, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord." That was written in Isaiah, hundreds of years before Jesus read that. They knew it in the synagogue. And then he comes up and says, "You're seeing this fulfilled in your presence." And that annoyed them to no limit. And they began plotting how to get rid of him. Okay, let's read some more from Jesus, because this is what we want to emulate. Matthew 5:3. "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." If you're looking to be comforted, God is the one to turn to. And God's people should be there as well. "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." Again, whatever your need is, heaven's there waiting for you. And frankly, Christians should be too. And this is the time of the year that you can actually talk like a Christian and get away with it. They expect it. Ephesians 4:2. Be completely, this is for when you get together with your gatherings, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. No family brawls. If Jack wants to tell the same story, Uncle Jack that wants to tell the same story that he's told every Christmas for the past 30 years, let him. He feels a need to do that. That's his way to connect. So let him do it. And don't start mouthing the words as you're hearing him tell his story. Just sit there and patiently. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time for adversity. I can read these words. I just got to pay attention to what I'm reading. You can find people that need help, and you can be their friend or their brother or sister and help them. Help them get through this time of year. I don't know about suicide rates, but I would imagine this time of year would be worse. Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Unity is a good word. It's not a religion, so don't get involved in that. This has nothing to do with that. A rainbow is a great symbol of God, not to be perverted like it has been. That's what Satan does. He perverts things that are good in God's eyes, in his creation. He copies them and perverts them. Don't let him do that to you. But show love. Show the gifts of the Spirit this holiday season. I'm sure your family can use it. There's somebody there that needs a hug. Give them a hug. Oh, but she smells. She smells like an old woman. Well, she is. That's the way it is. Do the best you can to get through this by making as many people happy as you can. Don't worry about yourself. God will take care of you. Your job is to take care of everybody else. If everybody is spending their time taking care of everybody else, then everybody will be happy. I hope you have a good holiday season. My actual Thanksgiving message is going to be short because I want you to spend it with your family as opposed to listening to me. We are brothers and sisters in Christ, but if you have family, spend time with them. If my message is too short, go listen to another message. But I want you to try to do something for somebody else. If you don't know where to go, ask your church. The pastor knows people who need all the time. You can always find somebody in need by going to your pastor. He knows the congregation. He knows that so-and-so just went in the hospital. He knows that there's somebody at home. Take her some food. You always make extra anyway. Make a special plate for this person. There are countless ideas. Just ask God and go out and share those ideas. Comfort people. That's what Jesus would do if he were here. And there's a lot of people right now need comforting. We've gotten through a bad 4 years, but it's not over yet. So keep comforting people. But be prepared. Be ready. keep your food stocks up. Eggs are going up because they've been destroying egg-laying houses. And the big corporations have been buying food processing plants so they can basically shut them down. You want to know how they can basically say you can't buy and sell? They're going to own everything. And they're going to have your name. But we won't be here. Tell everybody else. Till we meet in the clouds. God bless.